And this is Chandell,
Hi.
and this is Rachel.
Hi.
When I met you guys were going through a little bit of turmoil of like trying to decide whether you were going to stay in expediting, trying to find your kind of groove,
Yeah.
right?
Carnage.
They are now expediters, and they have both. Well, they've been expediters for a while, but they bought their own truck, which is a big deal. Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you guys excited?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So cool. I want to get a little bit of history. First of all, to start off, I'm going to start off with you, Chandell.
Okay.
Born in Tennessee,
Born in Indiana.
Indiana.
And we moved to Nashville area when I was in junior high.
Okay.
And then grew up around here. And then Franklin County, Winchester, Tennessee.
And you went to UT, right?
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Come on now.
Gator fan, Tennessee Vol. And Rachel,
Yes,
I'm a Boston fan. You're a Yankee fan.
yes, I am.
And I'm still going to put the interview up.
Okay.
You might be muted.
Oh, would it be the first time?
Well, Chandell tries to mute you a lot. It just
Yeah.
doesn't always work.
No.
Okay. So we're a little crowded here, so we're trying to make this work as best as we can, but we'll
making
do
a
it.
Frankie
Yeah,
sandwich.
we're making they got a Frankie sandwich. It's where's the beef?
Pickle.
So you're from New York.
Yes, I am.
So tell me about, were you born and raised there?
Born and raised in New York. Moved to Florida in '95,
Okay.
and then
I was still
got
in
my
high school.
CDL in 2000 with my ex, and I drove a Peach 379, 18 speed.
Were you doing drive-in or
We
reefer?
were
What were you
working
doing?
for Werner, so we were doing everything. I hated every minute of it. Couldn't stand it. Didn't do it any longer.
And that was 18 years ago.
Yeah,
Sorry to bring that up.
that's okay. And then I tried it again, and I didn't like it again, so I gave up.
When did you give up?
A month later,
No, I mean like what year? Like
2001.
oh
And
geez,
then-
you did all of this in 1 year?
Yeah, 2001, 2002, give
Yeah,
or take.
'cause I met you
Yeah,
in
it
2002.
just wasn't for me.
You guys have known each other that long?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I was gonna get to that,
so we
but
met
I
in
mean,
truck driving school at Stevens.
Yeah.
at Stevens. So you guys you met at Stevens, and
Yeah.
you were truck driving school, and that was around 02.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So you guys have both done, tractor
Everything.
trailer, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So when did you stop doing the husband thing and start
Yep.
hanging out and driving with her?
When I came back from Europe in 2010, so she's
July. Last
Yep.
month was
8
8 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to Europe. What'd you do over there?
I worked for Foot Locker corporate headquarters
Oh, cool.
and another American
It's a
company.
little bit
over there.
different than trucking.
Yes. So no trucking. I didn't deal with any kind of trucking. I did. I worked for an import company and did some local deliveries with a rental, but I never picked up another truck again. When I came back, she's like, the economy sucks. I didn't believe her.
That was in
And
08.
She's like, let's
Oh,
team.
2010.
And we started with Skyline. She had been there for 8 years already.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we did.
So you were
teamed.
friends at this time and just
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then we did Laredo for 2.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
just back and forth Laredo, and
6,500 miles a week.
yep. And we would get our 34-hour break, and just keep doing it. And we did that for the longest time.
at dinner we were talking about when you broke your ankle,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
your
So
ankle,
we
and you were driving where you had the shift, right?
yeah we
You
were
broke your left ankle.
Yep, we were with FedEx at that time, so we had started with FedEx
Mm-hmm.
Custom Critical,
Custom Critical.
but working in a tractor trailer.
In a
Yes.
tractor trailer, we had a T660,
T660. Yes.
660, 18 speed,
Louise,
550
she was
Cummins.
mean.
She was mean. I broke my ankle, and I couldn't drive a.
She tripped off a sidewalk under a
fell off
load.
the sidewalk because I'm good like that.
FedEx took care of us.
So then
FedEx took good care of us.
we decided if we're gonna make this transition, we're gonna go into the straight truck.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home, get a house. So we found an owner, and that's where we started with the straight truck.
And how long ago was that?
2 years ago today, almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you did the tractor trailers.
Yep.
And then you came over to straight trucks.
Yep.
And
We learned the system with some help from you guys, some awesome help from great group of people.
Wonderful circle of friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
very
had a really good
supportive.
group. You were.
Yes. Informative.
you were
Awesome.
and okay, so you're driving, you drove for an owner, you went to another owner, and you whatever,
We had a
and
really
then
hard time.
and then you had an opportunity present itself to
Yes.
you, right?
Yes.
My friend Rachel here is a worry wart, just a little bit. She really stresses out
A
about
little bit.
everything.
I do.
We're gonna move this a little bit. There we go. There we go.
I do stress.
She's stressed. Speak up just a little bit.
I stress.
Okay.
I stress a lot.
And so this was a big decision for you.
It was.
I mean, Chandell was, she was
All in.
supportive and she was all in, but she knew that she had to support you because, like, wrapping your mind around everything and the responsibility
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
And
was,
I believe it was more her dream than mine. So I just followed what she wanted because that's what
She's more of a corporate background.
I'm a corporate person.
you like the
would've-
structure.
I
You
like
like
structure. I really wanted to come off the road and just go back to being a normal person, whatever that may be. And I did that for a year. I came off the road for a year on 2011
who'd you go
or
to
12.
work for?
I worked for an ethanol company, and I was a personal assistant for a year, and it just wasn't for me.
It's really tough when you get out on the road and you see the freedom, I guess.
Absolutely. It is.
And
Life
and a
really
lot of
shows.
people that aren't truckers don't understand the freedom. They're like, how can you be in that truck and do what you do?
Yep.
And then expediting brings it to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
It's
right?
its own beast.
It's amazing. You tell people about it and they just don't really understand. As hard as we run, which we do run, but it goes in spurts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're busy, take a break for 5-6 days.
Right.
Busy, take a break. Busy.
Yeah.
And I think you guys, the reason I want to talk to you about, first of all, was because you're my friends and you were able to buy a truck. And I want to talk about the transition of working for an owner and being a truck owner. But also, you were in the tractor trailer division where you drove 6,500, 7,000 miles a week,
Yes.
right? So you know that life too, compared to what we do now
Yeah.
and you do now.
I mean, our first load was one box, 100 pounds, in a 53-foot trailer across the country, and it paid this crazy amount of money. And we're like, if this is what it's gonna be, we're in.
Right.
Working smarter,
And it
not
was.
harder.
Work smarter, not harder.
And
So
with
we
the
loved it.
the e-trucks, guys, just so you know, e-trucks are tractor trailers at FedEx. So when we talk about e-trucks, it's a tractor trailer. The trailers, 95% of them are owned by FedEx. Some people own their own refrigerated trailers, but mostly they're owned by FedEx, and they're designated an FCR. Franklin, Charlie, Romeo, FCR trailer. And they're owned by FedEx, maintained by FedEx, and you know they pull them around. And like Rachel said, it can be a 5-pound box that goes on the trail. Expedite doesn't matter. It's like whoever's closest, whoever can take the load, and whoever can service the customer in the most efficient manner and make sure the customer's taken care of. Which is, you know, you've heard me say it jokingly, but the purple promise, and FedEx does not joke around with taking care of
Absolutely not.
servicing the customer. And I reiterate this all the time, and I'm proud to work with a company that is. And is it perfect? Not even close.
Nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect because the human element is still
Right.
right. And there's a lot of hand holding. I've never been late. Have you ever been late?
Never.
They still go, and I wish there was something that goes, this driver's never been late. Just leave
Yeah.
him alone.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's not
No.
their SOP. You know, their standard
They're just
operating
doing their
procedure.
job.
Right. So you went from doing that. Now, were the miles when you came over to expediting a tractor trailer the same?
No.
Oh,
No?
It was maybe
No.
a quarter.
Did it
Yeah.
drive you crazy? So what was the transition like coming from a tractor trailer and running 6,500, 7,000 miles to going to what, 3,500
Yeah,
maybe
we didn't
on
know
a
what to do with ourselves because
No.
the mentality is go, go, go,
Yeah.
go, 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 go. If those wheels aren't burning, you're not making any
it's
money.
easy to create a habit, but it's
Hard to break it.
yes, it's hard to break it. You get the mentality turn and earn, and it's basically the mentality work smarter, not harder.
right. And that is the big thing in expediting, and it's a quality of life thing.
Absolutely.
And I tell people, I say, listen, the money, if you're coming over here to make more money, you're not going to make more money. Technically. Because if you're looking at it by the mile, you're making the same money, you're just working half
Yes.
as hard.
I agree.
I think the biggest thing is, and there are a lot of drivers out there, and they'll tell you this, you got to get out of that truck. And when I first started, we were sitting in the truck a lot.
And she's harder to get out of the truck than I am. I'm on to the next thing. Where's the concerts? Where's the sporting events? You know, you for Uber.
Yeah,
Rental
yeah.
cars.
Uber for
But
expediter.
you get addicted to your numbers, though. You watch your numbers and you get addicted, and you just want to keep building. And next month, you want to beat your numbers the following month. You know, you want to beat your rate
Yeah,
per mile.
I just want
and it's not
to
even the rate per mile. You get
Just
to
your
see.
numbers.
It's like I love seeing the account grow. You know,
Yeah,
the savings
yes,
account
absolutely.
grow, and you get into it, and you're like, well, we drive for a fleet, and so we make bonuses and stuff like that. You guys get all of the money,
Yes, and it's amazing.
which is a great thing. And I remember talking to you guys, and I said, you guys are going to look back at this in 3 months, and you're going to be sitting on a mound of cash,
Yeah.
and you're going to be like, what were we worried about? Now you're still worried because
I'm
that's
still
just your
worried.
nature.
That's my nature. You know, I like to prepare for the worst. Hope
Right.
for the best, prepare for the worst. Is that how the saying goes?
Yes, exactly.
So, That's me.
and there's nothing
worry
wrong
about
with
it.
that. But at the same time, you guys are finding out right now. One of the big things in this industry, and if you ever listen to Road Dogg, Kevin Rutherford, he talks about, these new modern trucks. They can have all this stuff go wrong with them,
Mhm.
especially with the DEF systems and all of that.
Yes.
And you can, a lot of times they don't know what's wrong,
Mhm.
and they're just chasing
Chasing
a problem,
chasing a
and they're
goal.
throwing parts at it.
Yep.
Now, luckily, you guys are in a situation where you're in a warranty
Yes.
for your truck.
Yes.
Recently, you had a big scare.
Yes.
When
did.
a couple of weeks ago, we were in Reno, and we had dinner with these guys, and now we're in Nashville, and that's the kind of thing. Like we have dinner wherever. Hey, we're coming through town, and so tell me about. You guys are delivering in Reno. Your truck throws a code,
Yes.
hard code, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Difference between a hard code, yellow light comes up, you're okay and keep running. Yellow and red come up, you're about to be shut down.
Right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we're stacked on loads.
We were stacked on a load, debating whether to go through the fires in California, blah, 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 blah. As fate had it, we got a double code. So we took it to the Freightliner dealership, and they diagnosed it.
It took us
and
in immediately.
took us in immediately, and they told us
That was Freightliner in Reno,
in
right?
Reno, yes. So they took us in, and they told us that it was the dozer valve for your DEF was clogged, and
Detroit specific fuel line.
Yep, Detroit specific fuel line, and that part was going to be on back order for 2 to 4 weeks nationwide.
And this is the big thing that is a big fear of one truck owners. I mean, it's like,
Yes.
because where we can rely, the fleet owners, they have income coming in from a bunch of trucks, when you're a one truck operation and they tell you you're going to be shut down for 4 weeks, well, the bank still wants to get paid.
Exactly.
Having the reserves in place to handle stuff like this. And this, what's scary about this, and it had to be driving you crazy, was it's a brand new truck.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of my biggest problems with this industry, especially with new truck sales, is that there is no consumer protection at all.
No,
Agreed.
Okay? And what people don't understand about that, listen to this. There's lemon laws in the United States for every car out there, okay? If there's a problem that they can't fix, that you buy a new vehicle and they can't fix it on a third try or whatever, it's the same problem, they have to buy the car back.
Yes.
It's, there's lemon laws in every state. In trucking, and their truck, you have a $250,000 truck, right?
Right.
In trucking, you're spending on these trucks $250,000 and up, right? Ours was 280,000,
right.
Wow.
and you have no protection. If something goes wrong, and there's something wrong with every brand new truck,
Absolutely.
when something goes wrong, there's no protection. So if you're down for a month, they don't go. There's no payment forgiveness. There's no like, hey, we're going to cover your payment,
Right.
And that's a big deal.
It is.
It is a big
It is
deal. It's a scary thing.
It
It
is.
was.
Now,
$30 part could have crippled us for almost a month.
Now they told you that this part was not available for 4 weeks, right?
Correct.
Correct.
2 to 4 weeks.
Right.
Now you guys got up, being the go-getters that you are. You started calling around. You called up.
Yeah.
You have a friend in the business.
She had a friend which led us via. They're going to be in Vegas. Let's call Vegas and we'll go to Vegas. And we called them and they're like, no, but XYZ has one because they looked at their inventory. And we ended up finding it on our own, which ended up being
A sister.
sister company of the Sparks, Nevada Freightliner dealership. So they
400
did
miles away.
They didn't even go the extra mile to look in their own inventory. So we
never
found it
take their word
ourselves.
for it.
And here's the thing, like I was saying, not only can you not, these people don't have the knowledge to chase down, which these guys were able to find the problem instantly, but to go into their system and go, let me see if somebody in my own company has the part.
It took us
Exactly.
24 hours to get a parts
It took us
list.
24 hours to get a part.
We had
so
to beg
you're
for
at their,
that.
You're at their mercy. You really are.
And that's the biggest thing. And still, with all of these bad things, it's still worth doing.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
And as women,
Hands
they
down.
don't take you seriously. So that was another.
And we're
part
not
of it.
ones to play that card either.
Yeah, we're not ones to play the card. We're go-getters. We're gonna get it done. We need to go.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not saying the right terminology doesn't mean that you still can't help me further my
Right,
investigation of parts.
and throwing a tantrum isn't going to do anything.
Absolutely not.
It's like
No.
nothing.
So
Okay, so those are some of the bad things. Now, you're making 100% of the revenue from your truck now,
yes.
Correct.
which has that raise been a nice shot in the arm?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. And I've noticed that you're more strategic because Nashville is a great place for our freight lanes, for FedEx Custom Critical, a lot of pharmaceutical. You guys are able to, a little bit of strategy, able to get home, not for long periods of time, but you're very strategic about getting home
Right.
and going, I'm going to catch 3 days here in between loads or unload
Absolutely.
and everything. And it's not getting in your pocket.
No.
Right?
And-
Right.
And it's created a quality of life
Exactly.
Yes.
that you could deal with a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely.
And that's really cool.
It is.
I think the thing that I want to bring to and let my viewers understand is that there's no stereotype of who comes out here and can do it. You know what I
No.
mean? It's like if you have the drive and the gumption and playing the game, like you said, with those numbers, it's
Yeah.
like, I play that game. I
Yeah.
turn it into
Yeah.
a game. It's like every week it's a game. Beating that month date and getting that income, and you guys got really good at it. What do you find now that you've been doing this a couple of years and stuff? Like you're from New York, you're about to go on a delivery in New York,
Yes.
and we get to go to all these cool places.
Yes.
Absolutely. See a lot of cool
We've
stuff.
seen some really cool things. We've delivered some really cool places.
Oh yeah, the freight is fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, not the pharmaceutical is kind of boring.
It beats a
No,
grocery
even-
warehouse.
Even the backstory on some of these pharmaceuticals is very interesting.
Yeah.
You're saving someone's life.
Right. Yeah, you're a
Absolutely.
part of that process. And people go, well, the hand holding and all the regulation. And you go to some of these third world countries and you see what goes on and you're like, oh, I'm going to take this shot and everything. You kind of appreciate the regulation that's going on. And it's like everybody likes less government until it's something that's going to be injected into the body.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So
The way that they run us and hold us to a
Yeah.
high standard. Yeah, it's
That Purple
great.
Promise is big business. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
so
I take pride in that.
Well, if you guys have any questions for Rachel or Chandell, put them in the comments below and I'll make sure that they watch the video and they can comment and maybe answer any questions that you guys might have. If you're interested in driving, hit me up. A lot of people that are solo drivers want to come out here and do this as a solo. It's not a solo gig. It's not a solo gig.
you
What
have
we
to
do,
have someone you like
somebody you trust.
and
Yeah,
trust.
absolutely.
You
It's
gotta
like when
trust
you're
them.
driving down the road and you're trying to sleep.
I wouldn't do this with anyone else.
But if you are interested, hit us up. If you got any questions for the girls, put it down in the comments below. We are going to finish up this load tomorrow in Louisville in the morning, and then Columbus, 2 stops in the afternoon. And we have a load on Monday going out to California, back to California. And so we will be doing that. I'm trying to nail something for the weekend. We'll see what happens. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you found some information that you could use. If you're interested in more videos like this, check out this video right here. And if you're interested in expediting or trucking, or you have any questions, make sure you check out the link below.